from Brahadanyaka Upanishad, Asodoma Satyame. The second line in the chant is Tamasoma Yodagamaya, lead us from darkness to light. Icon of resurrection. You see behind the figure of Christ, this is the dark background, it is darkness. You see that? It is deliberately designed that way because Jesus is rising from among the dead. Jesus is rising from the domain of darkness. Jesus, as the light of the world, as the light of life, he is conquering darkness. He has overcome the world of night, the world of dark powers, which usually overtake us in our world. So, you see, when you look at an icon, you cannot simply, casually look at it, but every little line or color has its particular meaning. So, always you will see the risen Christ against the dark background. Adam and Eve are raised from among the dead. Again, you see a dark background. The gates of hell are broken, and what you see as hell is simply a deeply dark area. I just want to tell you about this. A little bit of earth and frankincense. Earth, because you are taken from dust. As you see in the making of Adam, God takes a bit of earth and clay and makes Adam and then breathes in the breath of life. In the same way, frankincense is a different thing, because you see when Jesus was buried, Nicodemus and Joseph of Arimathea took a lot of very expensive incense, frankincense, and the body of Jesus was covered with the frankincense. Because incense, especially the fragrance coming out of incense, is a symbol of life. You know, what is the smell of death? You know, what is the smell of death? Is it agreeable smell or no? The smell of death is unbearable for most human beings because it is putrid smell. Right? Something is decaying, degenerating, and so it is a horrible stench. But the living organisms, particularly the young ones, human babies, you smell human babies, right? Or you smell the babies of any animal or bird. It is a especially attractive smell, you know. That is a smell of life which is coming up, which is emerging. Whereas the body of a dying person may not smell good. He is or she is going down. Therefore, we mix earth and frankincense. Earth, because that is the destiny of all living beings, that should die and be part of the dust of Mother Earth. But you, as human beings, you created in God's image and likeness, will be resurrected. So you will have the fragrance of life. Whereas people who die have the stench, horrible stench. Now you take these things into an ethical level, an ethical and moral level. When you do good things, you have a good smell. There is a great father of the Syriac tradition, 7th century, Isaac the Syrian. Have you heard about him? It's not likely that you hear about him because actually he is not part of the Antiochian tradition. He was a member of the Syrian church, which was in India before the Portuguese came. In the 7th century he was a bishop, but he abandoned his bishop's responsibilities and went back to his monastery. He didn't want to be an administrator living in a sort of worldly way in the church, but he went back to his monastery. And he says, Adam, when he was created, had a very good smell. And that is why animals and birds came to him without fear. Even if you look at the icons of paradise, Adam and Eve are there, and all animals, even so-called wild animals like lion and tiger and snakes, they all come very close to Adam and Eve. They are like friends, they are like family. There is no fear, there is no distance, they are one body. But what happened later after the sin of Adam, after the fall of Adam, animals began to move away from Adam. Because Isaac the Syrian says that he developed very bad body odor, very bad body smell. And we human beings still keep a little bit of that bad odor because our perspiration, when you sweat, is not very pleasant. So what do? You buy expensive deodorants, perfumes, etc. From head to foot. You try to mask the bad odor of your body. As it says, this is part of and he doesn't speak about perfumes, etc. I'm interpreting that, He says, the bad odor which Adam developed after committing sin still remains, and that is why animals don't come to us. Actually, they are afraid of us. It's not because we kill them. That is also maybe one reason, but somehow animals don't come to us. I have noticed that in the little courtyard in front of my house, there's a very small pool, and I watch birds coming and playing around the pool. Some take bath, and some eat the little fruits around. And then other animals pass by. If a cat passes by, no problem. If a dog comes, no problem. But so if I move near, then they all fly away, But I have never killed a bird, In my life, never killed a bird. I always look at them with great love and affection. But even then, when I get near, they fly away. Why? So they can distinguish between human beings and other animals. Apparently, they can even smell us. Elephants can smell us from far away in the forest. That is when you go to jungles, the wardens do not permit you carry perfumes with it. With a perfumed body, you don't go in the jungles where animals live. They know it. Even the normal body odor would be discerned by them. So you see, this is the difference of the first man and the second man. But for us Christians, Jesus came to us to deliver us from the power of death and its stench. And then He is going to give us the perfume of the Holy Spirit. You may not remember that, but when you are baptized and chrismated, and you are baptized and anointed with the holy oil of Muron, the little prayer there is very beautiful. It's may this child be filled with all the fragrances of the Holy Spirit. The fragrance of the Holy Spirit, what are they? Love, joy, peace, long-suffering, This is the fruit of the Spirit, also the fragrance of the Holy Spirit. So we as Christians, a Christian is a chrismated one, is an anointed one, anointed with holy mirror. So we are to exhibit the fragrance of the Holy Spirit. And that is how we become the so-called paradise beings. We return to the paradise experience which our ancestors lost. This is a scheme, theological scheme in our understanding of the human person as well as in our liturgical understanding of human destiny. I just said this casually. So there is always this movement from darkness to light, from tamas to jyoti. This is very similar to what we said in the morning, from nothingness to being. Nothingness is something we all are afraid of. Suppose, they take a group photo, you are there but you are excluded. How do you feel? You feel very bad about it. And there's a party going on. All your friends are invited. You are not invited. People complain about it. People are very, very unhappy if they are not invited while others are invited. So excluding from a group photo, excluding from a party, excluding from a friendly conversation. There are so many examples. You are worried. But what are you worried about? You are worried about this nothingness. When you are excluded, you are lost. You are lost. When you are with others, you are in. You belong. You belong to this group. You belong to this church. You belong to this family. The sense of belonging is an absolute must for every human being. Sense of belonging. And when we lose that sense of belonging, you are like the prodigal son. What was his problem then? He was wandering. He was wandering, and finally he found refuge in his own family, his father. The same with Cain, the son of Adam, the murderer, the one who killed his brother. He also became a wanderer. When you don't have the sense of belonging, when you are excluded, you are turning to nothingness. This is the turning to the dust. You are dust, and as dust you shall return. So nothingness and darkness are the same. When you gave me some images this morning, many people from tunnel to black hole, you gave me several images. It's all darkness. The nothingness is darkness. And what is the significance of darkness here? The early fathers like Gregory of Nazianzus, Gregory of Nyssa, they are all great philosophers, great thinkers. What they tell us is true even today, with all our understanding of science. There is a darkness as nothing, no substance. Darkness is an absence, whereas light has a substance. You have a candle here in the dark, and you see. You put off the candle, and there is darkness. But where is darkness? When you light it again, darkness disappears. But where did it go? Can you find darkness in any corner hiding? No, you will not. Because darkness is abhava, in the Indian terminology, it is abhava, it is non-existence. It has no being, it has no substance, it is abhava. But light has bhava, light, at least, in terms of particles, photon particles and waves, we can still speak about light. Light has bhava. Light has existence and being. Darkness is the absence of light. And about evil, the fathers of the church teach us that evil is the absence of the good, the absence of goodness. Evil has no substance of kingdom. It's a quotation from the Liturgy of Messianism. Evil has no substance of kingdom, whereas the good has substance and kingdom. Therefore, nothingness and darkness are the same. Now, Jesus comes out of nothingness. Jesus comes out of darkness. So you see here already the Genesis passage illustrated. You see, it's a Genesis passage there, creating out of nothing, creating out of darkness. Life comes out of darkness. Light comes out of darkness. You know, light and life are basically the same thing in terms of life's evolution. You know, you needed light and warmth for life to emerge. So light and life are, so in the Gospel of Saint John, Saint John puts it very symbolically. Light was coming into the world, and the world did not recognize it. That's a problem. Light has been coming to the world, and the world did not recognize it. He speaks about Jesus, the light of the world. And this connection between nothingness and darkness is very important for us. Can you read one or two passages? This morning you read. Can you read 1 Thessalonians 5:5? Letter to the Thessalonians, chapter 5.
Ye all are the children of light and the children of the day.
Can you speak up, read it up? Okay.
Thessalonians chapter 5:5.
Yeah, 5, but louder if you can.
We all are the children of light and the children of the day. We are not of light nor of darkness.
Can somebody read from here?
You are all sons of the light and
Yes.
sons of the day.
Yes.
We do not belong to the night or to the darkness.
Yeah. You are children of light in the modern translation, of course. Sons have been changed to children because of the gender question. I cannot. This is very fine print, so I am unable to read it. You are all sons of the light and sons of the day. We do not belong to the night or to the darkness. So then, let us not be like others who are asleep, but let us be alert and self-controlled. For those who sleep, sleep at night, and those who get drunk at night. But since we belong to the day, let us be self-controlled, putting on faith and love as a breastplate, and the hope of salvation. The theological word, the biblical word is, I would say, more witnessing. Witnessing. When you do something, you are witnessing to truth. Suppose somebody gave you an affair to manage, and you manage it well, honestly, you do it very well, then you are witnessing to truth. And Jesus said, before Pontius Pilate, in Pharaonic times we see people are buried with food and other things with the hope that they will come back to life or they will continue in a new life situation. But Christ has given us a new hope.